Walker Buehler now available. First questions from Alana. Go ahead.
Walker, nice to have you back off of that IL. I know that Dave was saying that the blister issue wasn't on any particular pitch. How did you feel with all of your stuff tonight and kind of getting back on the hill and getting out there?
Yeah, felt good. I think the off-speed stuff wasn't quite, where it might have been against Colorado or before the IL thing. But, that happens in a season. I don't think that's a result of any of that stuff. I just think it's kind of didn't have it as much today, but was happy with the fastball and, glad to put up some zeros and obviously kind of the heroics late and get out of here with a win.
Did you find that fastball was really the best swing and miss for you today? You had more than a strikeout per inning, 5 innings, and you had 6 punch outs.
Yeah, I think most of them were on the heater that I can remember. I think it's kind of indicative of how I pitch. I don't think that's anything kind of new or anything like that. That's, probably the most important pitch for me. So, have that one, give you some comfort and kind of scramble and get through 5.
Still really efficient, though, really. 71 pitches over those 5 innings of work. It looked like you were having a conversation with Dave. Was it a factor of you wanting to go back out there and they, considering where we're at in the season, you just coming off the IL?
Yeah, I think all that stuff kind of factors into it. Obviously, at the end of the day, the manager's decision is what it is. And I've been a lot more upset before, coming out of a game. I think, coming off the IL, 75 pitches roughly kind of deal, I don't know if I'll necessarily be on a pitch count. I just think, given the stress of kind of that second inning and just trying to be careful with it, I think was kind of the motives behind that stuff.
You're such a competitor. Did you enjoy the tit for tat with Gallen? Obviously a nice pitching duel there from 2 young arms.
Yeah, I mean, the guy's had a pretty incredible start to his career. So, I imagine we'll square off a few more times. Obviously, I think, I would like to kind of keep going, but it is what it is. And, fun guy to watch, kind of mixes and matches, but, great outing for him, but glad we got out of here with a win.
Okay. Thank you, Walker.
Next question from Jorge Castillo. Go ahead.
Hey, Walker, when did the blister first surface and, what were you dealing with? And have you ever dealt with anything like that before?
It kind of flared maybe a little bit in the Colorado game. And then there's just, throwing bullpens and things like that. We'll rub it and things like that. So we just kind of made a group effort to try and prevent it from getting much worse. And it kind of is what it is.
Was that the first time you dealt with that?
Yeah, I've never really had blisters on either of those 2 fingers. The kind of main 2 fingers. I've had them. I think every guy that's ever thrown a baseball gets them kind of all over the place, but that's the first time I've had them on one of the 2 main fingers.
Thank you.
Thank you, Walker.
Which one, right or left?
Right.
This one?
Yep. Mookie Betts now available. First questions from Alana. Go ahead.
Mookie, it was as if you were bookending this game. The first pitch you saw in the first off of Gallen, and then in the ninth against Ginkel. We'll go back to that home run against Ginkel. How were you able to capitalize there and send this one to extras?
I was just fortunate. I got a hanger and I put a good pitch on it. I have to just continue to play. We did a great job. Our staff did a great job in keeping them to one. So we got to definitely give credit there. And but we have to get rolling a little bit offensively.
You mentioned continue to play. How important is that statement that you make that you're not done until the final out there in that ninth inning?
You have to play 27 outs and sometimes more, like today. And I think the most important thing is just putting the pressure for all 27. And I think we did a decent job with that today. Gallen threw the ball really, really well today, so I got to give credit there. But we did a great job in staying in the game.
What was he doing? Because literally only the first pitch of the game was hit, and he didn't give up a hit the remainder of the time.
He just mixes pitches and keeps it out of the middle of the plate. You definitely got to give credit where credit's due. But we battled. We battled and stayed in the game.
Sacrifice bunt ends up as a fielder choice, and then an error, and Chris Taylor's trying to bunt. Are you just trying to extend the game at that point? Just find a way to keep it going?
Yeah, I think we got to score one for sure. And then after that, there's no telling what happens. But that tying it up right there was the most important thing. And then we were able to score one, and they traded places. And so I think at that point we had them against the ropes, and we were able to finish them off.
I'm not certain you saw Kenley Jansen's reaction when that went down, but how nice is it to pick up your closer?
Sometimes he picks us up a lot, so we have to return the favor, and that's what a team is. That's what a team is all about. So we have to, like I said, just keep playing and doing what we do.
Thank you, Mookie.
Question from Bill Plunkett. Go ahead, Bill. Go ahead, Bill.
Can you hear me? There we go. You've had 4 extra inning games now, Mookie. What do you think of the new rule with the runner on second?
It's whatever. I think the games seem like they go a little quicker. It's not 15 inning games, and we're not all just trying to hit home runs. I think it definitely brings different aspects of the game back into the game, like the bunt and moving runners. Guys trying to put the ball in play in different areas and whatnot. So it's definitely a pretty cool experience for sure.
You okay with it disappearing after this year?
I don't think I have much say so in it. So whatever they say, we have to do.
Thanks.
Got a question from Kerry Osborne. Go ahead.
Mookie, I would imagine that you're learning more and more about this team every day. Over the last couple of years, they've been so good in pressure situations. What have you learned about the way that this team handles pressure and the way that this team applies pressure?
I think we apply pressure for sure. We do put a lot of pressure on other teams. Handling pressure, I don't think we've had very much pressure yet. I think playoffs is when the pressure is on, and so we're headed in that direction, and I think I'll be able to answer that question when that time comes around.
Thanks, Mookie.
Thanks, Mickey.
What's that? Yeah, we do.
Dave Roberts now available. There's questions from Alana. Go ahead, Alana.
Dave, perhaps not the way that you drew this one up, but what a big swing by Mookie to send this one into extra innings. A bookend from him tonight with the first pitch of the game and then that solo shot. Again, just his impact that you've noticed.
No, just really huge at bat. Honestly, I think that you look at the play early where they could have sent the runner, Mookie getting the ball in, saved a potential run right there in that first inning, I think it was, or the second inning with Walker. And another time a guy could have advanced to third base on a fly ball in that extra inning thing. And then obviously with the bat, Ginkel's been good for him. Really tough pitcher, and Mookie got a good swing, took a good swing on a ball and put us back in the game. So huge game for Mookie.
It's one thing to have the idea of having a sac bunt, another thing to execute it, but turns out to be that sac bunt, fielder's choice, an error on Guerra, but then to be able to have Jock, to move Chris over, and just how big was that 10th inning?
It was great, and CT's a baseball player, so I just count on him. I believe he can get the bunt down, and for me right there, I just wanted to extend the game at home, and Jock did his job, got CT over, and Will Smith did his job. So a lot of good fundamental baseball tonight, and you've got to give credit to Gallen, who pitched a heck of a ball game. Only made a handful of mistakes all night. Was really good. It was fun to watch actually compete and make pitches, even albeit against us. But to see the pitching back and forth was a lot of fun.
With Walker, were you thinking about 75 pitches off of that IL? He went 71 tonight.
Yeah, that's what we were kind of thinking. It was, I think, 11, 12 days since he's pitched. So just to kind of manage him and get out feeling good about things.
Thank you.
Next question is from Claudia Augusto. Go ahead.
Hey, Dave, I'm just kind of like talking about Gallen, and just he made, you guys going against him. Just talk about, how exciting was the game, although it was, like struggling towards the end, but how much fun, you guys had with this one.
I thought it was a really well-played baseball game, and I think that we're so used to home runs and offense, but to get pitchers making pitches and some defensive plays, low scoring where every pitch, base runner matters. I thought it was fun. It was a fun baseball game to be a part of.
Thank you.
Next question is from Ken Gurnick. Go ahead, Ken.
Dave, are you satisfied now that the Walker's past this blister issue and that he'll be able to start on regular rest?
I am. I am. You got to give credit to the trainers and Walker kind of buying into what we're trying to do to take care of him. And so I thought he threw the baseball really well tonight, and certainly expect to make his next start.
Thanks.
Next question is from Mario Castillo. Go ahead.
Dave, with these extra inning games, does it almost feel like you're maybe managing completely different than you would maybe the first 9 innings when you have a runner at second base?
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's a lot of different variables that come into play, home, road, who's hitting, who's behind the hitter, who's on second base, who's pitching. So it's kind of the, ins and outs of baseball, game within the game. So I actually kind of like that style.
So are you a fan of kind of changing it up a little bit, the variables and all that?
Yeah, I think that it's kind of, then it becomes a chess match, and where I typically, I'm used to the National League style of baseball. So there's a little bit of strategy involved, which I think is fun.
Thank you.
Any other questions for Dave? Thanks, Dave.
Thanks, guys.